Good morning, Joe. It's another Thursday, man. How you doing?
Hey, welcome to the podcast.
That's right. That's right. Hey, you get any reptiles yet?
No, I didn't get any reptiles. I don't have any reptiles. My name is Joe.
I got lots of reptiles. I'm Adam.
He's Adam.
Proper
and
Royals.
This is Proper Cup of Joe.
That's right.
Where I ask questions about having reptiles because I don't have any.
But it really, like, you say you ask the questions, but really you bring the knowledge at the end. It's this big okie doke that you play on everybody, Joe, where you're like the
I don't know what I'm talking about.
What's me daisy, and then you learn a whole bunch, huh?
So what's new, man? You have a good
I feel like we got we got a little something going this morning already early, man. But here's the reality is I'm on like 4.5 hours of sleep, man. I'm tired. I got everything going on. It's good.
Really? Just 4.5 hours of sleep? Why?
Well, I just had I had a busy day yesterday. I got a fair amount on my mind. I got a busy day today, and I wanted to get stuff done. And then I did put a few things off because my son wanted to play a couple games of chess, and I realized I've been pretty absent in that lane lately. And I said, you know what, let's play chess. So
sometimes, it's been a busy week at work for me, and a few different things that I'm doing. And I said no to Aiden the other day, and I regret saying no. He asked me to go to the park and to kick the football. He's trying to get better at kicking field goals and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm just too busy. And then he went by himself. And I immediately regretted my decision.
Yeah. How's he doing in that role? I know. So he played, if we could get a little personal, he played soccer for a whole long, like world football. And now he's doing place kicking and punting, or just place kicking?
Just place kicking, really. So, so he joined the football team for the first time this year. He's a junior in high school, they put him on defense. He's a big guy, so they put him on defense. But he just
football defense too.
Yeah, he just wanted to kick, but
that's like different than soccer defense. Yeah, well, he's built like a tank. He's a stud. He's a big dude.
Right. He's a big guy, and not big like me. Like he's fit and he's strong. And
like I'm not going to fight the kid. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So they kind of laughed at him and they were like, "You're not kicking. You're going to be.
you're going to hit."
Then, like the second week of the season, their kicker, who is also a junior, got hurt, and so he kicked for about 6 weeks. And he said that he's been playing soccer since he was 3. He said this was the best thing that he's ever done in his life. Those 6 weeks.
Yeah,
he was so stoked about it. He just loved doing it. And I think there's a part to it's like, scoring points. But then whenever you kick a point after or a field goal, everybody cheers.
It's the moment. Yeah, right. Yeah, like you're hitting you're playing the encore, man. Hit the smoke and fog machine,
Yeah. So when we started, I didn't know, how to teach him how to do anything. So initially he started to kick like 40-yard field goals or whatever. Well, just this week when he went out and I didn't go with him, he hit a 54-yard field goal.
Dude,
amazing. He's only had real training for maybe about a month.
Right. If I were I don't know if you know, but I decided to take a road separate from pro sports. I left my athletic roots, and but if I were to return to my pro sports athletic ability route, man, a pro kicker, that's the job, man. That's what you want right there.
That's nice.
You're none of that CTE. You're not getting any, I mean, if
right,
yeah. On the kickoff team, you want to run and pop a shot in there every now and again. Once the other guys got him, like you just come in at the end. That's pretty cool. You get a little something there.
Yeah, and the thing about it is he loves it. So
yeah.
we're trying to think. So, but the other kicker on the team is also a junior, and he's a really great kicker as well. Yeah, let's see. Yes, I mean the 54-yard field goal. He's 16.
Yeah, that's pretty solid, man.
And he's got a great leg. He's got a great attitude, and like he just wants to get better and better. So,
right.
And I don't know if he's really had some really great training yet. So, it's something we got to look at in the next year,
right?
As he thinks about college and stuff. I think
that's cool. I remember vividly when I would stay at your house. He would just be in the yard, like he had like the mannequin defenders and then a full soccer goal. And they're just like rockets taking off of his foot. I'm like, what? I mean, it's crazy, man. So that's cool.
Be like, hey, Joe, can you defend? Can you goal keep? I'm like,
oh, are you like jumping? You're like the lineman.
And after a while, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I don't want to get in front of that ball.
45 years old. I can't do that.
Hey, Joe, it'd be fun. Stand there. I'm going to kick a ball in your face. Okay.
Right, exactly. What do I know? I don't know.
I would come to that practice. I would demonstrate for him. That's cool. That's cool, man.
So that's what's going on there. That's and it's fun, but it just made me think, like, you got to take that time right. to play chess or go to the park or whatever, whenever you're asked, because that was a regret of mine this week, definitely.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So anyway, all that leads to being a little bit tired, but life is fulfilling. We have this thirst. We go after it. It's cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Made it to the podcast on time.
That's all you can ask for.
Well, it's really for all that I say that I'm really busy with, like I have very few actual deadlines, so this is one of them, and I'm proud to say that we've met it every week now for quite a while, actually. Especially
we come close every once in a while. We get close.
Yeah, I do always usually have like a little like. If Joe oversleeps, I'm going to let it rip, and here's what I'm going to do. I just frankly,
you have a plan B because you don't trust me.
What no, I have a plan B because I'm prepared, Joe, not because I don't trust you. Come on now.
Here, if I can't make it, I tell you.
No, and you do, and you've never not made it. So there we go. So I read this week. There's a theme that you and I have shared and both claim to embrace. I think I certainly have claimed to embrace that a researcher with lab rats. Yeah, it is a little early. Okay. Lab rats this week says that he's proven, or that the lab rats have demonstrated to be, it's a proof of the idea. And the idea is that we find joy in anticipation. And like I've said before, like I almost prefer like the build up to the thing more than the thing.
Okay. Yes.
I wouldn't say more. Sometimes more. Sometimes the thing is a disappointment, and I was happier looking forward to it rather than actually doing it. Like leading up to Christmas, or if you have a really big vacation coming up and that's what we were talking about. Like you enjoyed the planning to Paris and England.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. It's a build up to it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So this guy built a little car. He calls it a Tesla truck for his lab rat animals. And he taught them to drive this thing it has little buttons to go forward and another button to move. And by rewarding them with Fruit Loops, he taught them how to drive it. And then he took the Fruit Loops away, and he finds that they still drive it and they have fun driving it. And that begins a whole conversation on neuroplasticity and joy from that. But then he concluded that through conditioning, because he was having them drive on either certain days or certain times, leading up to the time of the driving, the rats were at the front of their little tub cage when they would see him walk by, and they were all excited. And he concluded that the joy of the anticipation is what they were demonstrating. And, and I'm sure, I mean, he did it in way more sciencey terms. And this was published in, I don't know what journal this was published in, but it does say it's preliminary results. Here we go. Preliminary results suggest that rats required to wait for their rewards show signs of shifting from pessimistic cognitive style to an optimistic one in a test designed to measure rodent optimism. I will let everybody go search it themselves. They can read the full. You look skeptical. You don't seem to believe that there's any joy in the optimism of the rodent, huh?
Just the phrase "optimism of rodents." I don't. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
H&H, that's the study. Yeah, they're driving around the little car together. They're having a good old time. Little rat date.
Okay, so but are they? And does it matter? I don't know if this matters. Are they anticipating the driving of the car, or are they anticipating the Fruit Loops?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. Okay, look.
I don't know if that even matters, though.
That's true. Well, is it one and the same? Is it just? Is it just yes?
No, it does matter.
It took away the Fruit Loops.
They took away the Fruit Loops
after they taught them to drive. Yeah, like they used the Fruit Loops. Like
still excited about driving the car.
That's right. Yeah. If somebody had given me Fruit Loops leading into a snake room 20 years ago, I would have been much happier. And it wouldn't have been for the Fruit Loops. It would have been for that's what they're saying.
I don't, I mean, no, I think I'd have to read a little bit.
Yeah, more. You got. Yeah, look, I could be, I could be underrepresenting the case here. There's a section entitled "Rat Lessons on Enjoying the Journey." Look, man, he's saying the rats are getting joy from anticipation. I thought that was a home run for our little circle right here, Joe.
I mean, a home run. Why would you think that?
Because we anticipate joy, man. That's why.
Okay, so. Yes, but what is the work that is going into anticipating? It's actually the work that's really enjoyable, isn't it?
Oh, I don't know. This is really cheesy, but I literally, like, if I have a stressful day, I literally think about my ball python pairings when I go to bed, and that's like my counting sheep. I'm like, all right, this one I'm going to pair to this. And then I actually like envision them like locked. And then I'm like, okay, that's nice. And then I think of the next one and I'm like, that's nice. And I think of the next one and then I'm asleep.
You think of them locked. Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's success, man. What am I going to put them together and have them not locked? That doesn't do any good. Everybody wins. Everybody wins when they lock. They get their joy. I get, it's all good.
But there's something cognitive about, or there's something that's going on in your brain. Like I'm in charge of this. And that's what I answer. That's what I like, is that actually when I'm planning a trip or even looking at, like, sometimes I'll get upset or whatever, and I'll start looking at job postings or whatever.
Right. I've heard. Yeah. Who does? Who would do such a thing? Right. I can't imagine that scenario.
But there's like, and you go, okay, there's part of it that's like, there's work that's involved in leading up to this thing that I'm doing. The rats aren't planning this thing. The making the plan is the thing that's exciting. Well, this is just a reaction to a stimulus.
Yeah, well, okay. So snakes for the memories, Jeremy and Holly, they say breeding and waiting on eggs is enjoyable. I have no control over what's in well, I have a little bit of control over what I paired. I have control over the gene pool that I introduced to each other. But otherwise, that's a great example because I sit there and I love the anticipation before the eggs hatch. And then like immediately after I cut the eggs, no matter how good the clutch is, I'm like, now what am I going to look forward to? There's like, I'm like, now what? Okay, that was cool. Like, it's way better looking forward to it for me.
Yeah, I can. Okay, you're convincing me. Yes,
which may, I mean, it may say something about my own mental / psychotic state of like, hey, Adam, why don't you learn to appreciate some things that you have, you know?
Might be good. Might be good every once in a while to go.
Yeah, yeah. Little gratitude journal. Hey, why don't you write 3 things that are you're thankful for? I bet you could find 3 every day. Yeah.
It is. I mean, that is something, and I mean, I'm laughing about it, but yeah, that's and sometimes I wish I could be more like that. The thing is actually is the enjoyable part of it. The thing that I worked up to is actually the enjoyable part of it, instead of working towards it or the journey or whatever people call it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, but like, I'll take my own experience with family vacations. They're gold. I wouldn't trade them for anything. But look, man, there comes a point on day 4 in Boston where I'm just tired and hungover. And at 7 in the morning, I don't want to wait in line at the aquarium. It was way more fun planning it than or the science museum or whatever. And it's rainy and it's supposed to be a beautiful, warm July day. And it's a cold, damp, wet terrier feeling standing there shivering because I had whiskey at 3 in the morning at the pub.
Yes, I can identify with that. Yes, definitely. I mean, there were moments on our big trip this past year where I was like, yeah, and there's a break that needs to happen.
Yeah, I need everybody to go somewhere else where I'm not, right?
We all need a break, or I'm gonna break. That's
yeah.
what I'm thinking.
All right. Well, hey, I might have hijacked your one thing space, or maybe it was Aiden kicking. I don't know. What do you got?
No, I mean, I actually had something else, and I'm teaching this class on Wednesday nights, so it's fresh in my head on Thursdays. And
I'm sorry to cut you off. Hang on. I'm sorry to cut you off. Speaking of joy, I know you really enjoy that class. How's it going? You're still you had a little disruption from the hurricane.
Yeah, and actually, we might get another one next week.
just the old that old chestnut, the November hurricane, huh? Yeah, okay. No, I know. It's like, man,
and it's coming in on Wednesday night. Yeah, so yeah, it's been great, and it's been so great. I just really, it reminds me how much I love being in the classroom. I love teaching. It's fantastic. So much so that I've really looked hard at other colleges and universities in the area to teach, and I think I found another college that I can pick up a few more classes.
Hey, good for you.
So
man.
I'm really
but take action, right? Don't just anticipate. You got to go do the work. I get your point now. What you're saying, yeah. All right.
I'm just like you go and. There have been moments the past few weeks where I'm like, what, if this is what I like to do, put it more into your life, which goes along with what we want to talk about later today, and forming other revenue streams. Not quite, but a
little diversification of attention.
Yeah. Doing things that fill your life with the things that you really want to do. So I have had issues though that I haven't been in the classroom. I've been mostly online teaching the past few years. And I remember I had these videos that I would use to demonstrate. I don't know if I brought this up before.
I don't
these
believe
videos
so.
I used to demonstrate like certain things, and they're videos from like pop culture, like their interviews, or there's, you know, like I use sometimes comedians and stuff like that.
Oh, but you're not the star of the videos. I had a vision of like Joe's like corporate HR videos. Like, you should never touch somebody here.
The problem, and I retired them at a certain point, and like going back and planning for these new sessions, I'm kind of like, well, why don't I use those videos again? They were great.
Oh yeah, I think I know where this is going. Yeah, go ahead.
So I unthinkingly put them back into the presentation, and almost every single one features somebody that has been Me Too'd.
Oh yeah, that took a darker HR turn than I thought. I thought you were gonna say like your pop culture references were obsolete and the kids didn't know what they were, but that you just want to okay, so
there's like one that like Louis C.K. shows up. There's one that's like there's Russell Brand in it. There's one,
and they're all like you are the devil, sir. Teaching us ethics and morals and religion. Okay,
that's right. I had to. That's why I didn't use these, because they were hot at the time, and I had to retire them because it would upset. Now, what I did find out is that the students that I have, they barely know who Louis C.K. is. They barely know who Charlie Rose is. But some of them know who Russell Brand is. Like there's so they were like, no, I don't care. I'll and because I wanted to make sure that everybody was okay after we watched these videos.
Which
I don't know, because I'm overreacting, because there's so much like, people saying, I can't believe he's promoting Louis C.K. in the class, or he's promoting,
what that Charlie guy does in his spare time. Yeah.
So I get now. The other thing, though, is exactly what you were saying, which is some of these references that I use, like Christianity was last week. So our whole module was on Christianity. I do this thing like, oh, what shows do you watch during Christmas time? What specials do you watch? And blah, blah, blah. And people are saying these things, and I want them to get to a specific thing, which is the Charlie Brown Christmas special.
Nobody's going there, huh?
Yeah. And I'm like, does anybody watch Charlie Brown?
You're like, guys, either get on board with Charlie Brown, or I'm taking you straight to Leviticus. That's what's happening. You get one or the other, nothing in between.
So, and then somebody eventually said, and there's a few people who are my age that are actually in the class, and eventually,
you got your ringers, huh? You're like, all right, let me preach to the choir here for a minute. Let me get an amen over there.
And then I show this clip at the end of the Charlie Brown Christmas special. And do you remember what happens at the end of the Charlie Brown Christmas special?
No clue.
Nobody really remembers.
He kicks the football. I don't know what happens.
He goes,
give me the spoiler.
Anybody know what Christmas is all about? And then Linus walks up on stage and he quotes directly from the Gospel of Luke.
Oh, they go right to it, huh? Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's like almost word for word from the nativity story in the Gospel of Luke. And then we do a whole thing about the Gospel of Luke and how it's really like this protest against Caesar in first century Roman Empire, and that the same things that show up in Luke, I'm going to say this, the same thing that shows up in Luke in that nativity story are the same exact things that are being said about Caesar at the time, and probably 100 years before that. So Luke, this story in the Charlie Brown Christmas special, Linus, this cute little kid, is and says, this is what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown, is from a document that is defying the Roman Empire at the time of its writing, which was 70 AD CE.
I had no idea that Linus was such a punk, man. Good. Yeah. Look at this.
He's quoting an incendiary protest. Yes. A punk.
I've learned. I didn't know that. All joking
really
aside, yeah,
cool.
it took us right to school there, man.
Yeah, people think there's a lot of people who look at Christianity as this, this meek rabbi from Judaism saying, "Blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek. Let's be compassionate." But also, there's this side of it that's, it completely goes against authority and
there's a rebellious
Roman Empire.
standpoint. Yeah,
rebellious. Yeah.
It's since gained many other troubles that humans have applied to that whole thing too. But
that's for sure.
We are a little pressed on. I don't know that we could pick that apart this morning. So, so you think you're going to go after some more teaching spots or what?
Yeah, definitely. I am.
Good for you.
I
man.
love it. Yeah. I really I feel like I'm in my element there.
You got to fill your cup, man.
Yeah. Yeah. So I found a few, I think they're locked in for next semester and even maybe some over the summer. So,
so more than just playing with the idea, like you're on board.
Yeah. So I adjunct mostly at this college called St. Pete College, and then I picked up a class at the College of Central Florida next semester. It's an online class, and then I think I got 2 in the summer for the College of Central Florida. So, man,
good for you. I'm happy to hear that, man. That's cool. I like to say I know a little bit personally how much that fulfills you. So that's really cool. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Man.
And it has a lot, like I said, it has a lot to do with what we're talking about today, which is diversifying revenue streams. Yes, diversification, but also diversification of what you do on a daily basis as well. I think it's really, really important mentally.
For me it is. Yeah,
outside of your main source of income, because for various reasons, I think.
Yeah. Let's get into that in a minute here, because I think we're going to go on a real tear. So we'll do a little tease. We'll get into diversified revenue streams from a business standpoint, reality of what's going on in my world of commercial building acquisition. Got an update for you, Joe. Hot off the presses.
Okay, excellent.
Last night at very late in the evening. And then actually kind of a funny story. Another reason why I needed to be up past midnight for some legal document reasons. I'll explain that. And I needed to get to 12:01 last night. And then anyway, all right, let's face the bills really fast. Guys, tonight, speaking of a long day, if you haven't seen yet, I will be doing a live ball python auction on Palm Street, new platform. There is another diversify. So like you could diversify product, you could diversify your sales streams. And you guys have heard me talking. I think there should be more than one primary marketplace. So let's check it out. Let's put our, what do they say? Money where our mouths are. You could go on Palm Street. Also, you could check out my Instagram. There's a little tutorial on how you sign up and how you get, if you decide you want to buy something. And this is the first official ball python auction on ball python only auction on Palm Street. There have been some other people that have snuck them in unapproved, but I got the blessing of Palm Street. So anyhow, I've been preparing that really fast since you all tuned in tonight. I won't tell you the starting bids, but if you go to the link, you can find all this information. It's very transparent. Cinnamon Suma male, super gravel Enchi male, triple heck clown Axanthic hypo female, banana lemon blast pied male, super banana cinnamon mahogany, super banana Enchi pinstripe, super cinnamon albino, a white cue ball with red eyes will be on there. Enchi pastel clown, pastel Axanthic VPI female will be on there. And we'll start this last one, Enchi Fire Hypo Male. That will start at a $1 auction. That is that'll be a legitimate, no reserve $1 auction. The rest of them do have starting bids, not that one. So check it out. And even if you're not in the market, even if you have no intention of buying, come hang out. I need to practice. I need to see if this is worth putting more effort behind, what the sales model's like, all that good stuff. So it's a well-run platform, Palm Street. Check it out. All right, let me make sure. I almost clicked leave studio instead of take that thing down here. All right. It would have been great. Like, boom, I'm out. See you guys. That's it. You can take it from there, Joe. Let me see here. I should be more on this, but I want to find out. Charlie Ryan is Reagan Renee Royal Pythons. I want to look at what's exactly on his morph market right now, because he has great stuff. He also, I heard you were chatting with him this week, Joe. Do you even know? Do you even know what he's working on?
I don't know what he's working on. I know that he's working on a T-shirt for me.
Yeah, well, there's a T-shirt for you. Do you know what the T-shirt's about?
No, I don't know.
I thought I was gonna tee up this beautiful segue, and Joe was gonna take it. Buy me a minute while I was looking on Morph Market.
I don't ask questions. If somebody wants to give me a T-shirt, I'll take it.
All right, Charlie.
What's going on? I don't know.
Charlie at Reagan Renee Royal Pythons is in a contest on Snakes and the Fat Man called 15 Minutes of Lame, where
I've heard of that.
Yeah, Chris features different breeders all through the year, and at the end of the year, they all campaign against each other in this Royal Rumble, last man standing style bloodbath that goes on for the next six weeks, which will be take up all of Instagram and all of the airwaves. And suddenly everybody wants to come on Proper Royals because they want to campaign versus like giving a damn the other 11 months. And this masterful thing, Chris gets all of us advertising his show like we're doing right now, free of charge. And that's what Charlie's shirt is about. Troy Balls and Strikes did very well in the show and the competition last year. He was one of the lame people. But anyway, if you want to check out Charlie Ryan's Reagan Renee Royal Pythons Morph Market account, or see what they have going on, here we go.
So am I violating some? We have everybody here. Am I violating some rules of the game if I represent Charlie on?
Not at all. Of anybody, we should represent Charlie, because definitely, let me tell you, that little logo placement doesn't come free. You want our vote? Let me tell you one quick way to the. It's not legal, but I could tell you that is one way to get our attention. You can stroke a check and get your logo right there. You know. Let's see. Pretty cool today. Charlie's got a Wookiee Het DG Het Clown. Is that a male or female on there? That's a female. Wookiee double het DG Het Clown. If you're into that kind of stuff, check out Charlie's Morph Market page. You can check him out on 15 Minutes of Lame. Creative Genetics, that's Keith out in Fresno, California. Keith is working with codoms like The Stranger and other dark genes in projects like Clown, Axanthic, Hypo, and DG. Double singles and triples. I know that for sure. He also hit some super gravel clowns and some highway clowns. I believe he's got those available right now as well. So check out Creative Genetics and Charlie Ryan at Reagan Renee Royal Pythons. Cold Blooded Cafe, I still use their rodents every month. I have a package. One of the things I forgot to do late last night is unpack the rodents, but they pack with so much dry ice and it's so well done. It's fine. I'll unpack them this morning. Use the promo code PROPER11 if you want to check out their frozen rodents yourself. You get 11% off of your next order. And Husbandry.pro is a great supporter of the show, as well as properroyals.com is built on their platform. It integrates with Husbandry.pro. So I use Husbandry.pro to automate and be more efficient, collect data and store it properly, multi-generational data that you don't have to write for years in a, in a little notebook if you're even that organized, which I never was. And then, like I say, the platform integrates with a sales and e-commerce platform as well. So check them out. Use the promo code PRoyals60, or you could go to properroyals.com and click on the banner, and you're going to get yourself 60 days free trial. You didn't have to use a credit card. Just sign up, get going, and see the benefits. So there you go. Thank you to the sponsors.
Yeah. Then they're great folks, really great folks.
Actually, that's an important part. There's nobody that I do business with that I'm like, oh, I hate this person, but thank God they write a check. Screw that. They can write a check, but they got to be good people too, man. That's what there's got to be. I got to say, thanks to H&H Pythons, you've been doing some serious promo for me on this Palm Street. I really, really appreciate it. I know you're interested in it. If I can help you in the future, please let me know. I felt really bad. They said, where's the whole, I posted a reel about the instructional stuff. They're like, where's the whole video? I'm like, I'm so sorry. I haven't gotten it. All I edited was 30 seconds. I got a whole hour. I didn't get through the whole thing. It'll be up, but I'm just on deadlines. I need to get through the end of the day today and tomorrow. I actually think I'm going to do absolutely nothing tomorrow. I think tomorrow is because I go to I'll be in Kansas City this weekend too. I'm down to Kansas City Saturday for a show Sunday. And so I just, I
had a blast in Kansas City when I went.
It's a cool town. I've never been.
Yeah, I really had a fun time there. It was cool.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I'll have 2 nights there actually. So it's a long enough drive that I'm not going to drive home after vending.
Oh, the Bills are playing Kansas City this weekend.
In Kansas City?
I don't know if it's in Kansas City or not.
Oh no, I don't want to be up against the show is on Sunday. The last thing I want to do is go up against. This is a night game, or did they?
It's a 4 o'clock game. It's 4 o'clock. It's the 4 o'clock game.
Okay, so we're going to be busy early, and then by 2 o'clock, it's going to clear out. Is what's going to happen?
Maybe. It's a big game, I think.
You jumping through any tables on fire this week for a little mojo, little juju?
I am peripherally a Bills fan, and if this is any indication, I'm watching tonight's game, which is the Eagles Commanders. So.
That should be a hot one too, man. Off 4 days rest for both teams. All right, let's see what's up. That should be good. All right, Joe. Here's the
payout. Let's hear what has happened to you.
Audience, you have waited 37 minutes this morning patiently while we ramble
it's still great content.
About nonsense. Here's your payoff. I had to wait till 12:01 last night because at 12:01 last night, I signed a contract to buy that car wash that has been hanging over my head. And why would I have to wait till 12:01, you say? I got so caught up in the negotiations. I got so caught up in getting this deal done and formatted the way I wanted. And I was annoyed and frustrated along the way. I forgot that I only have 48 hours from the date that the thing is finalized to come up with the earnest money. And I hadn't arranged where the money was going to come from. And if I signed it on Thursday, I was going to need to have it Monday, but I need everything to clear at the end of Monday. And so I had to make sure that the earnest money wasn't due until Tuesday. So I didn't sign it until Thursday morning.
All right. Okay. Good.
So if anybody ever thinks, man, Adam's really got his stuff together, I don't. I'm just flying by the seat of my pants trying to figure out life just like anybody else, man. But
so this is it. This is happening.
Well, okay. So here's the thing. It all comes in steps, and of course, it's exhausting and burdensome and all of that. And woe is me. Leave it to me to make it dramatic for something good. Yeah, this is fun. It's cool. But it is exhausting. God, I hate all the negotiation, the back and forth, the posturing. This is my best and final. We're cutting promos in we're in the ring with it. It's my best and final. Listen to you. You show me this and I'll show you this. It is exhausting, man. Anyway, so we're in what's now the called the due diligence inspection period. I got 2 weeks. I can inspect it with whatever contractors I want to bring in. I can bring a building inspector in. I can bring the city building inspector in. I get 2 weeks to inspect whatever I want in the deal, and I can walk away with any reason or for no reason within those 2 weeks. And then once that ends, we will close a week after. So it's a quick close. 3 weeks, man. December 6th. There will be a car wash. And if people of you are like, if anybody's watching and you're like, what the hell is Adam talking about? He bought a car wash. In Minnesota, car washes have to have this really powerfully heated floor because the winters are harsh here and you don't want frozen water freezing all your equipment and your pipes and your drains. And it turns out heated floors are like the primo way to heat Reptile facilities, especially if you need to keep something at 78 degrees, natural gas runs through these. Natural gas fires a boiler that sends incredibly hot water through pipes in your floor, and it radiates up, and you insulate the bad boy, and you get fans, and you get your everything you need. And buildings with heated floors were getting prohibitively expensive for me to find or didn't exist. And then what do I find? A dilapidated car wash that has perfectly operating heated floors. I can insulate. It's just a concrete building. It's just concrete block. I can insulate it, get the spray foam in, put up some sheetrock, pour in an epoxy floor, and it has drains in the floor, and it comes with 4 pressure washers, man. I can clean everything in there. It's going to be great. I don't know. John says I'm genius. I'm not a genius. Like nowhere in business school are they like, all right, if you need to raise snakes, pro tip, go get a car wash. I don't know. That's not written anywhere. Okay.
I don't think there's a class on snakes anywhere in business school or probably anywhere.
You're in it, pal. This is it. And I don't know that we're the correct authors for that. So.
This is, I want to echo what people are saying on the chat. This is really, really exciting. And I'm really happy. And I never use this term, but I'm proud. I'm proud to know you. I'm proud of you for doing this. And I hope it works. I hope you don't find anything catastrophic. But I hope this next 2 weeks goes well and it's finalized.
Thank you so much, man. That's really kind. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
One of the things I like about the building now, again, this could just be my, there's a thin line between optimism and naivete, I've heard. So I could just be being naive, but one of the things I like about the building is it's concrete block, it's a metal roof, and it's concrete floor. There's really not many components to it. Otherwise, the machinery is 4 pressure washers, a chemical mixer that injects, soap into the line. And the whole thing's literally run on quarters. Somebody was joking earlier about, cleaning cash at the car wash. Part of the negotiation issues were that there was no books. There's nothing. I had to come up with a valuation based on utility bills and water usage. And I have to give credit to Keith at Creative Genetics. He was like, go down there with 6 quarters in a bucket and measure how many gallons you get for every 6 quarters that get put in, and then compare it to the utility bills. I was like, I actually could do that.
That's great. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, so that's exactly what I did. Anyway, it actually came in handy with the negotiation because I was like, you've given me no evidence of anything that I should believe what you're telling me. So I'm going to pay you a little bit less.
Good. That's great. That's fantastic.
But we actually did like a good negotiation. It was a little bit weird, and then we both ended at a good place. And then Kelly had really good insight. Those of y'all that don't know, that's my wife. She at one point said, hey, Adam, why don't you let it be? It's probably worth not pissing off the guy and poisoning the well in a small town where you're going to need all the contractors. You're going to need the people with the institutional knowledge. You're going to need the service providers. I think we're there. You don't need to win anymore. And I was like, when you're like, but I want to. And anyway, it was a really insightful moment. So we stopped and we let it be. So anyhow, that's a cool thing, but I don't want to make that just the whole sideways thing, because forever in business, we hear all these conflicting like cliches, right? So there's, on the one hand, there's if you're a jack of all trades, you're a master of none. And that sounds like it's inherently negative because it's harsh and it says you're a master of none. We also hear like, you got to be an expert, like niche down, be known for something. If you try and do everything, you'll be known for nothing. Mm-hmm. And then on the other side of the coin, there's, diversify or die. There's, you can't put all your eggs in one basket. And so it drives me nuts, and it's making it oversimplified, and it's like too easy for us just to be like, ooh, which cliche is worse? Let's talk about that. But it is a little bit maddening, and I think we have to go deeper, and I don't know the answer, but I think we have to figure out where there's a good balance of mental fulfillment, mental what do you call it when you like exercise your brain and you're happy to go do stuff, because you can burn out on doing the same thing over and over. I actually like that some days I'm in my rodent room, some days I'm in here. I look forward to, but if I was only in here every day for 10 hours a day, I would come to hate it. I loved when people are always like, man, you got too much going on. And I enjoy the different things. I would work, 60, 70 hours a week in the restaurants. And then I'd go play 2 back-to-back 4-hour gigs on Friday and Saturday nights, which were also our busiest nights in the restaurant. Like, it was crazy. Looking back, I don't know how I did it. I'm too old for that crap now. Now I understand where that saying comes from. Like, I can't I tried to play one of those late night gigs recently. I was like, oh my God, how did I used to do this? This is ridiculous. Like, I should be in bed. But I really do. I really thought about it this week. Like, I like the business of business. I really enjoyed figuring out a valuation on that company and figuring out what I thought it was worth. And I really and the guy wouldn't respond to me, but I really was like, I would really be curious to know how close I was. Like, I sent him what I projected his books are like, and I'm confident in it because that's what I've done. We write budgets for resorts that do 12 million in revenue. You got to figure out where all the revenue is coming from and who's going to have what and who's going to own what and blah, blah, blah. So I really, really enjoy that stuff. And it's also a hedge when we always hear, oh, the market's tough, the market's terrible, it's over. You have these different hedges. So there's rodents, there's the ball pythons, there's a little bit of revenue from YouTube and ad revenue, which I'm thankful for. Actually, the ad revenue is pretty, like the sponsor ad revenue is pretty good. And now this, so the full goal on the building was to get, was the business enough? I didn't need it to make more than $1. If it makes $1 and pays for itself, that means I get to expand Proper Royals essentially for free. I still have to earn the equipment that I'll need to purchase and all of that, but I get the expansion space and it's paying for itself. So that was the ultimate goal, to try and find whether I could do that through a renter, whether I could do that through an existing business. That was the goal. I didn't want the burden of the extra few $1,000s a month that it's honestly going to take to run this to carry it.
Yeah. So the end of this is you're not only in the ball python business, you are in the car washing business now.
Yeah.
And so that's really exciting. Actually, that's really exciting to hear that. I'm a little concerned because you go 100% at each thing that you do. So I don't know how many 100% you have in you. But it's great for Proper Royals too. I mean, the idea, even the people on the chat, they're saying this is a great idea, and there's probably some folks who are going, hey, did you hear about the guy who bought the car wash and is doing the snakes out of the car wash? That's smart.
So I had to watch my mouth because one of the things that and again, thank you for the kind words. I'm weird about public accolades is really not my thing, but so
you're still crazy. I'm not. I'm not.
Oh yeah, I'm insane, man. This is nuts. Absolutely crazy.
There's some good things, I guess, about being nuts.
Yeah. So one thing I learned that I had no idea of was how much control towns have over the businesses that are there. Outside of a city limits is a little bit different, but city limits, towns can make their own laws. And even if a law doesn't exist, they can convene a council and somebody can make a motion that they don't want their town overrun by serpents, and then suddenly I've got a problem. So you work with these permitting agencies, a city planner, zoning, permitting, and they do have legal guidelines they have to follow, and you want to do it the right way. And so, but I check in, and so I'm sending emails, I'm inquiring, and everybody's like, I don't know if we have any ordinances on reptiles. I'm like, you don't? I looked, and they're like, well, we have to research it and make sure, and blah, blah, blah. So the guy gets back to me and he's like, man, you got your podcast. The shows are great. I heard you talking about the car wash. I was like, oh crap, man. I got now I got the, like, the internet's cool because it's like out there. Yeah. When the internet is right here, then it gets a little weird. You know what I mean? Like, I like it out
Yes,
there.
I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah, yes. It's like the Costanza scene. This is the worlds colliding. Like, this is no. I want it out there.
That's you're talking to me, who this is the only reptile thing that I do. So when people close to me in my geographical area find out I do a reptile show,
right?
They go, okay, I'm feeling the same heat that you guys do when you when you associate with normals. Let's call
it. Yeah. Well, we're gonna turn you. We're gonna convert you. But okay, so but what's the value? For me, the value is just like diversification of stocks. Look, I don't know that I'll get rich on ball pythons. I don't know that I'll get rich on a car wash. I don't know that I'll get rich consulting, but all of it together make a pretty good livelihood. And they all happen kind of organically, where it was like, all right, I can get my head around that. And one note on that car wash, this is a old school, really simple car wash. This is not the bells and whistles, drive through, have a machine. This is pull into the bay. You get high pressure water. If you want soap, you're going to pay for that too. And here's a brush. That's it. I actually like the simple model. There's less to go wrong. People either love it or they don't love it. One of the value adds that it brings is there's 3 bays that have that. And then there's an outdoor sprayer that's not in a bay. And that's for the farmers. They bring their tractors there and get all the big mud. So that's got the different drain. And I thought that was actually a really genius differentiation. You can't bring your tractor to one of these new drive-through whiz-bang deals. And it is a very agricultural area. So anyway, well, I go through all that because you said how many 100% do you have to give? I will give it 100%. But the idea is this thing needs to be automated. I need this thing to run. And the exception to be when it doesn't run, then I can focus on it. But otherwise, I need to get it to where it can really be its own kind of self-sufficient thing. So I asked the guy why he wanted to sell it. And he said, I'm tired of coming here twice a day, 7 days a week for the past 50 years or 30 years. This building's 30 years old, but he's been doing car washes since he was a teenager. And immediately I was like, once you get a garage door opener with a remote app, you could do that from your living room while you're watching the Bills Kansas City game, And he was like, Adam, the time's passed me by. I'm not putting any more money into this stuff. And I'm like, what? Okay. So like, I get it. Time goes on and you're just like, look, I've made my money. I'm out. I'm good. Somebody pay me a fair price for it. I'll move on kind of thing. But sure. I've got to get it. I've got to get it to where, it takes a little bit of my attention, but it doesn't take big chunks of percentages of my attention.
Well, or, that maybe, I don't know, depending on how much it makes. I mean, I'm sure that there's some people, it's easy enough for others to take care of. You could hire and a young,
but there's really not there's not even a staff. I mean, that's only if the garage doors, like there's nothing to do. Like somebody's gonna have to clear the snow. Yeah, somebody every now and again, we're gonna have to ironically pressure wash the the drive and all of that. But the idea being, to your point, I think once it's rolling, it won't take up as much of my time. And that's kind of a lot of the things I got. And that's where it comes down to systems and processes. The rodents, I check on those really twice a week. Like I pop my head in there and I pull them if I need to. But as far as the Yeah, Troy, that's the ring chime.
Wait, that's
it tells me if
those
somebody's
are
here.
that just had people hear that when you say something genius.
Oh,
So
that's
you
true.
must have said something, and
That's
then
that's the sound of insight. Yeah, that's the you guys clearly are not ring consumers. I am at a point in my life, I don't even notice that chime anymore. As my son going to school, he walked by the camera out front this morning. But I do like the idea. That's just the sound of insight flowing through the internet.
So yes, I think about all and you're still doing occasionally some music work. I mean, that's 4 different ways that you're, and almost like completely different ways that you are generating money.
Totally
But
different switches
you've
in the
also
head. Yeah.
said diversifying within your business is really important. Like Chad said, we market a certain way for in our stores, and then we have what goes on I think it's Morph Market, and we treat them differently. Having those different ways of people getting to you, diversifying your marketing, I think that all helps. You don't have to be a crazy lunatic like Adam. You can use this idea of diversification in all areas of just the same business.
I think so, but I think it also like it drives me crazy. There was a lot of people that said, Adam, you need to have multiple species, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense for me, because then I need different environments. I need a different knowledge set. I have to learn all this new stuff. So I would rather diversify within a space that I already have the knowledge of. And I love learning new stuff. Don't get me wrong, but I might not have the time to become an expert on green tree pythons or whatever it might be. If it were a hobby, sure, it'd be fun, but I don't know that I have, and I would love one as a pet. Actually, I think they're beautiful animals, but I don't know. And I also don't trust myself, because I would go down the rabbit hole, and then I would it would take away from other stuff too. I have to watch myself on all the different things I get into. But my point being, like, this diversification thing can go crazy, because I like the idea of keeping one species, but having different businesses. Whereas somebody else might want to have one business, but have different species within that business. So there's many different ways. And then, I lost the name of the person, but you're exactly right. There's a good variety. If you can have a variety of sales options, I think that helps as well. But then there's breeders that, when you go to their table, you're paying for only the premium tier, and they don't screw around with the entry level options. So
right.
I like that idea. I don't know that it's feasible for me right now at this point. Maybe it is one day, but that's again why I go to, for the example of this Palm Street auction tonight. I have some starting bids that'll be as high as $500, and I have some that are going to be as low as $1. And I do agree with diversification is the only free lunch. And all my market investment time, which I believe in strongly, I have never bought an individual stock. Everything I've ever bought has been diversified index funds. And it's done well by me. Some people say that's too slow, too much of the tortoise. Sometimes you got to be the hare. But to be honest, over the past 25 years, a diversified S&P portfolio has led to a car wash in rural Minnesota. And there's your, there you go. But it is true. That has been that has turned into a massive safety net. And to be honest, it hasn't even, I wish I'd been serious for 25 years. It was, I'm trying to think exactly the date. It was October of 2006, where I was dead ass broke. And I was like, I've worked too hard. I'd been a GM in a Fortune 500 company, and I was broke. I'd worked for that company for 10 years, and it was only because I just wasn't paying attention. And I don't have any cooler story. I wasn't, putting drugs in my body or do, crazy lifestyle or lavish cars. It just wasn't paying attention. And I decided at that moment, October 2006, I decided I would pay very close attention to investing opportunities and have something to show for my work. And that's what I did. But it was all through diversified index funds. And if you don't know what that means, you can just put it into ChatGPT and start learning. But I highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm. We've also mentioned how it can be good for you mentally as well. And it's something that I don't know if it's really diversification, but oftentimes for a restless person like myself, oftentimes when I get into a rut and I go, okay, this is my life. I don't know if I really want this. It's about starting something new, just mentally for you to change the way that you think about yourself. I think so much we put into our work, so much that it begins to become our identity. And to identify with just one thing really minimizes the complexity of who you are as a person. So step back, play chess with your kid, go to the park and think of yourself as a place kicking trainer for a few hours. Go and teach. Join a reptile podcast where you don't know anything about ball pythons. Fill your life with all different things, so you're not just thinking, oh, I'm just an accountant, or I'm just a breeder, or I'm just a car wash owner. Having all of those different things, I think, is really great for you mentally, because it reflects the complexity of who you are.
Yeah, I think there's also a value to just staying busy and creating a little bit of your own outcomes and joy. Like that brings me, like, the world can be an overwhelming place, no matter what people's views or beliefs are. It can get, just sitting there staring at the world can really, really get maddening sometimes.
That's for sure.
But getting down to work, whether it's finding more teaching, whether it's finding a business opportunity, engaging in a great audience. By the way, guys, thanks for sticking around today. Maybe some of the highest viewerships were today as well. So thank you, everybody.
Great chat. Yeah.
Really, it's good. Really, really active today. I got to say thank you. I try not to just make the show like, ooh, look at what Adam's doing, but it's been a big time and it's an exciting time. And thanks for everybody that's been supportive. And if you want to know more about it, I'm sure I'll yap more about it, but I will try and get back to our typical content as well.
And just for like kind of a last word, throughout the last few weeks hearing this story, it's not just been about, your journey. It's about your journey and how everybody in this community has been so helpful to you and giving you ideas, and you going to them and talking to them. And I mean, that's the beauty of being a part of this, even though I don't have any ball pythons or reptiles. It's just really, really cool to see how collegial everybody is and how helpful and excited they are for each other, it's just fantastic to be a part of. Thanks, everybody.
I will leave it on that last word, that topic, but I just want to extend it. Speaking of diversified knowledge, almost everybody in this community is an expert at something else. And it's been amazing. There's people that own pressure washing companies that have told me about pumps and motors. There's been people that have taken on business partnerships. There are people that I just talked to somebody yesterday that is an expert at their family business is commercial garage doors. Like, it's absolutely amazing, like the consulting that is out there, and it's been really, really good. So I want to say thanks, and I guess we have to leave it. Unless you want to extend the goodbye, Joe, we could just really see how far we could take this.
Well, let me just utilize this community for a second. If there's anybody who is a college football coach, please reach out to me. I want to introduce you to my stepson, Aiden, who just kicked a 54-yard field goal the other day. Okay.
Rockets for feet. Just blast off, launch pads. All right, guys, we'll see you same place, same time next week. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Joe.
Awesome. Thank you.
See you guys.